In Stranger Things, the Upside Down is the version of Hawkins nobody wants to talk about. Doylestown has the same problem. Look, there are 12 things about this town that sellers and other agents just won't show you. Some of them you can deal with, some of them you can't. Hey, I'm Jim Stevenson, a realtor here based in the Philadelphia suburbs. I work with families just like you who are trying to sort through all the noise and figure out what actually matters. If you're thinking about making a move and want someone to help you cut through the confusion, go ahead and book a call with me using the link below. We'll talk through your priorities and I'll show you exactly where to focus. And if you're not ready for that conversation yet, scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to download my free Philadelphia Suburbs relocation guide. It's packed with everything I wish every buyer knew before they started their search. Now let's get into it. Number one, the price reality. First, let's talk about what you're actually paying for. The median sale price in Doylestown hit $645,000 back in October. That's up 6.4% from last year, and the market's not slowing down. Here's what makes that number worse. We've only got 1.7 months of inventory right now. Anything under 6 months is a seller's market. We're at 1.7. So you're not just competing on price, you're competing on speed, how clean your offer is, whether you're waiving contingencies. And get this, 45% of homes are selling above asking price right now. The sale to list ratio is sitting at 101.9%. What that means is you're competing against other buyers who are willing to go over list just to get in. The median time on market is 35 days, which sounds reasonable until you realize that homes priced right are going under contract in the first week. The ones sitting for a month, those are either overpriced or they've got issues. And here's the part that really stings. You're paying a premium just for the Doylestown name, not because the houses are bigger, not because you're getting more land. A $732,000 home in Doylestown, that same house costs you $616,000 in Chalfont. That's an 18% markup just for the address. In New Britain, that same house is $443,000. You're paying 65% more for the zip code. Same Central Bucks school district, same general area, same access to everything. But because it says Doylestown on your address, you're paying a premium. So if you're a first-time buyer or you're stretching your budget to get into Central Bucks schools, this is where the math starts to hurt. And if you're looking at single-family homes in the borough, you're not getting in for $645,000. You're looking at $800,000 to over $2 million. Townhomes and twins in the $400,000 to $600,000 range exist, but they go fast. Number two, the tax hit. Now let's add property taxes to that. On a $600,000 home, you're looking at roughly $9,500 a year. That works out to about $800 a month on top of your mortgage payment. The effective rate in Doylestown is 1.59%. That's higher than the national median of 1.02%, but it's lower than Pennsylvania's overall median of 2.75%. Here's the breakdown that actually matters. 70 to 75% of that tax bill goes straight to Central Bucks School District. You're not primarily funding the borough or the township, you're funding the schools. The average Bucks County homeowner pays about $6,817 a year in property taxes. Doylestown's about $2,700 more than that county average. Now look, if you've got kids and you're chasing those Central Bucks schools, that makes sense. The district's ranked highly, that's what you're paying for. But if you're a young couple with no kids yet, or you're retirees downsizing, you're subsidizing a system you're not using. And that number goes up every year. On an $800,000 home, you're at $12,720 annually. That's $1,060 a month in property taxes alone. On a $1 million home, $15,900 a year, about $1,325 a month. You can apply for the homestead exemption, which reduces your assessed value a little bit. You can appeal your assessment if you think you're overassessed. Seniors on fixed incomes can look into the Senior Citizen Tax Rebate Program if they qualify. But the baseline reality is this. Doylestown property taxes are above the national average, and they're not dropping anytime soon. And here's where it gets more complicated. Most of the homes people are buying in Doylestown weren't built last year. They're old, and old means expensive surprises. So that brings us to number three, the old house trap. About 8% of residents in both the borough and township moved into their homes before 1990. So we're talking about properties that are 35, 40, even 50 years old. And older homes come with older problems. Knob and tube wiring, that's $5,000 to $15,000 to replace if your inspector flags it. And if your homeowner's insurance company sees knob and tube in the report, they might refuse to insure the property until it's replaced. A new roof can run you, $7,000 to $20,000 depending on the size of the house and the materials. HVAC systems, another $5,000 to $15,000 if the current system's original to the house or close to it. Foundation cracks, basement water issues, lead paint if you've got kids, outdated layouts that require walls to come down. These aren't cosmetic fixes, they're structural realities that really eat into your budget fast. I've worked with buyers who thought they were getting a charming historic home and ended up spending $100,000 in the first 2 years just to make it livable. And that's not a renovation budget, that's a keep the house functional budget. So if you're buying an older home in Doylestown, you need to budget an extra 10 to 20% of the purchase price for deferred maintenance. Get a thorough home inspection, bring in a structural engineer if the inspector recommends it, get quotes from contractors before you close. Because once you own it, those problems become your problems. And sellers aren't required to disclose cosmetic issues or minor repairs, only material defects. So if the furnace works but it's 20 years old, they don't have to tell you it's on borrowed time. Number 4, the parking problem. All right, if you're buying in the borough, we need to talk about parking. Downtown's got metered parking, $1.50 an hour for the short-term spots. 50 cents an hour for the longer meters. It's free after 5 p.m. on weekdays and all day Sunday. There are 2 parking garages, one on Broad and Union, another at Broad and Court. The garages charge about $1 an hour, which is actually cheaper than feeding the meters all day. But on weekends, good luck. The Arts Festival brings thousands of people into town, and during those weekends, finding a spot becomes a competitive sport. Even on regular Saturdays, downtown fills up fast. So if you live in the borough, and you're trying to have people over, you need to warn them about parking. If you've got a driveway, great. If you don't, your guests are circling the block looking for a spot or paying for the garage. I had a client who bought this beautiful row home right in the heart of downtown. No driveway, no garage, street parking only. They loved the walkability, but every time they had family visit, it turned into a logistical nightmare. Look, if you're someone who works from home or doesn't commute, this might not bother you. But if you're driving in and out every day or you have guests coming over regularly, this gets old fast. You can use the Park mobile app to pay for parking remotely and get alerts when your time's running out, which helps. But the core issue remains. Downtown Doylestown has limited parking and it's not getting better anytime soon. Number 5, the commute truth. All right, let's talk about getting to Philadelphia. The SEPTA Doylestown line takes 75 to 80 minutes to reach Center City. That's longer than driving on a good traffic day. Driving's 45 to 60 minutes without traffic. But during rush hour, you're looking at 90 minutes or more. Route 611 turns into a parking lot. The Schuylkill's a nightmare, the backups on 202 are brutal. So SEPTA really becomes the better option, not because it's faster, but because it's predictable. You're not sitting in stop and go traffic on 611, you're not white knuckling it through construction zones. You're on the train and you can read, work, or sleep. But here's the catch. Trains run every 30 to 60 minutes during peak hours. That's 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. heading into the city and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. heading back out. Midday and late night, less frequent. First train out of Doylestown is 5:07 a.m. Last train back is 11 p.m. And on weekends, you're waiting an hour or 2 between trains. If you miss your train by 2 minutes, you're stuck waiting another 60 minutes. Station parking can also fill up on weekdays, so if you're commuting daily, you need to get there early. Look, if you're commuting to Center City 5 days a week, that's 2.5 to 3 hours of your day round trip. That's 12 to 15 hours a week. That's 600 to 750 hours a year just sitting on a train or in a car. If you're hybrid or fully remote, this doesn't matter. But if you're in the office every day, you need to factor that into your quality of life. And if you're commuting to Newark or another part of New Jersey, forget it. You're looking at 80 to 90 minutes each way, and SEPTA doesn't help you there. You'd have to drive to Trenton and pick up NJ Transit, which adds even more time and complexity. Now here's the part that surprises people the most. Doylestown has a reputation for being this beautiful historic town, and it is, but that historic character comes with rules, strict rules. Number 6, the historic restrictions. So if you're buying in the borough, there's a good chance your home falls under HARB jurisdiction. That's the Historic Architectural Review Board. HARB meets once a month and they have final say over any exterior change you want to make that's visible from a public street. New windows, siding, paint colors, shutters, doors, roofing materials, even your mailbox. You need a certificate of appropriateness before you can do any of it. The application process takes time. You submit your plans, HARB reviews them, They approve, deny, or ask for revisions. And if they deny your request, you're stuck. You can appeal, but that takes even more time and money. I had a client who wanted to replace their front door. The existing door was rotting and needed to go. HARB said no to their first choice because the style didn't match the period of the house. They ended up spending $4,000 on a custom door just to get approval. Another client wanted to install solar panels on their roof. HARB denied it because the panels would be visible from the street and didn't fit the historic aesthetic. They had to redesign the entire installation to put the panels on the back of the house, which was less efficient and more expensive. Look, if you value creative freedom with your property, this is going to frustrate you. HARB exists to preserve the historic character of the borough, which is a good thing, but it also means you don't have full control over your own home's exterior. And if you're used to HOA restrictions feeling limiting, HARB's a whole different level. Number 7, the radon risk. All right, here's something most people don't think about until inspection. Bucks County has an average indoor radon level of 6.1. The national average is 1.3. The EPA's action level, the point where they tell you to fix it, is 4.0. So Bucks County's sitting on more than 4 times the national average and well above the EPA action level. Radon's a naturally occurring radioactive gas that seeps up through your foundation from the soil. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. But long-term exposure increases lung cancer risk significantly. The good news is that it's fixable. A radon mitigation system costs about $1,500 to install. It's basically a ventilation system that pulls the radon out from under your foundation and vents it outside. And once it's installed, your levels drop to safe ranges. But you need to test for it first, and most sellers aren't going to volunteer that information. In Pennsylvania, sellers are only required to disclose radon test results if they've actually tested for it. If they haven't tested, they don't have to disclose anything. So if you're buying here, radon testing is really a non-negotiable. It's a $125 test that could save your life. And if the levels come back high, you negotiate the cost of mitigation into the sale, or you ask the seller to install the system before closing. So don't skip this, it's not optional. Number 8, the development battles. All right, Doylestown's going through some growing pains right now. A 47-room boutique hotel just got approval in the borough with 12 zoning waivers. 12. That project's replacing the old Borough Hall site, and it's controversial because of parking and traffic concerns. Residents near the site are worried about noise, congestion, and the impact on their property values. There's also a proposal to develop the Hart Tract, a 28-acre historic property near Lenape Valley, into condos. Residents are fighting it because it would change the character of that part of town. The Hart Tract's been open space for decades, and turning it into high-density housing is a major shift. So if you're buying near one of these sites, you need to know what's coming. These aren't small projects. They're going to impact traffic patterns, noise levels, and the overall feel of the neighborhoods. And once they're built, they're not going anywhere. Look, development isn't inherently bad, but it does change the dynamics of a town. And Doylestown's at a crossroads right now between preserving its small town character and accommodating growth. If you're buying here, pay attention to what's getting approved by the zoning board, because what's happening 2 blocks away can absolutely affect your quality of life. Number 9, the flood reality. Parts of Doylestown sit in FEMA flood zones. If your property's in Zone A or Zone AE, you're in a high-risk flood area. That means there's a 1% or greater chance of flooding in any given year. And if you're getting a federally backed mortgage, flood insurance is mandatory. Flood insurance can run anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s a year, depending on your elevation, how close you are to water, and the age of the house. Even if you're not in a designated flood zone, you should ask about basement flooding history. A lot of older homes in this area have had water intrusion issues at some point, especially after heavy rains. And if the seller discloses prior flooding, that's a red flag that needs to be investigated. You'll want to see what remediation was done, whether the issue was fixed properly, and whether it's likely to happen again. And flooding isn't a financial issue, it's a quality of life issue. If your basement floods every time there's a heavy rain, that's your problem now. But if you're finishing your basement or using it for storage, one flood can wipe out thousands of dollars in belongings. Check the FEMA flood maps before you make an offer. And if the property's in a flood zone, factor that insurance cost into your monthly budget. Number 10, the event tax. Doylestown's got an active events calendar. The arts festival, farmers markets, outdoor concerts, car shows, holiday parades. If you're someone who loves community events, that's a huge draw. The Arts Festival is one of the biggest events in Bucks County. It brings live music stages, hundreds of vendors, and thousands of visitors into town. Streets get closed, parking disappears, noise level spikes. It's great for the local economy. Local businesses see a massive boost that weekend. But if you live in Doylestown and you're trying to work from home on a Saturday, or you just want a quiet weekend, the noise and crowds get old. I've had clients who loved Doylestown but eventually moved because they couldn't deal with the constant events. One couple told me they felt like they were living in a tourist attraction instead of a neighborhood. It's a trade-off. The events are part of what makes Doylestown special, but they're also part of what makes it chaotic if you're living in the middle of it. Number 11, the infrastructure strain. Doylestown's water and sewer systems are old. The borough has been upgrading infrastructure over the past few years, but that comes with disruption. Road closures, construction noise, occasional water shutoffs for repairs, and those upgrades get paid for through higher utility rates and property taxes over time. In 2024, Doylestown Township raised taxes by 20% to fund infrastructure improvements and other budget needs. That's a significant jump, and it's not a one-time thing. As the systems age and need more repairs, you can expect costs to keep rising. So if you're moving from a newer suburban development where everything's modern and maintained, this is going to feel like a step backward. Older infrastructure means more frequent issues, and issues mean costs. Number 12, the walkability trade. All right, here's the last one, and it's the one that divides buyers the most. Doylestown Borough is ranked the second most walkable town in Pennsylvania. You can walk to restaurants, shops, the farmers market, the county theater, the library, the Mercer Museum. That's a selling point for a lot of buyers, especially people coming from cities who are used to that lifestyle. But walkability comes with density. Smaller lots, closer neighbors, less privacy, higher taxes per square foot. The average lot in the borough is tight. You're not getting a big backyard. You're not getting a significant distance from your neighbors. If you want space, a big yard, room for your kids to run around, distance between you and the house next door, the borough isn't going to give you that. The township offers more space, larger lots, more privacy, newer construction in many areas, but you're trading walkability for car dependency. You're driving to get groceries, driving to get coffee, driving to the gym, driving everywhere. The township's population density is about 400 people per square mile compared to the borough's much higher density. Neither option's objectively bad, but you need to know which trade-off you're making before you buy. So here's what this all comes down to. Doylestown's expensive and you're paying for a name, not just a house. You're competing in a market where 45% of homes are selling above asking price. The taxes run about $9,500 to $16,000 a year, depending on your price point. And that's higher than the national average, and 70% of it goes to schools. The homes are old, and old homes cost money to maintain. Budget 10 to 20% extra for repairs you're not expecting. The commute's long unless you're hybrid or remote, 75 to 80 minutes each way by train. And if you're in the borough, you're dealing with parking, density, historic restrictions through HARB, and constant community events. None of this makes Doylestown a bad place to live. But if you're a first-time buyer stretching your budget, or you're expecting modern construction and low maintenance, or you need space and privacy on a quiet street, Doylestown might not be the right fit. The families who do well here are the ones who go in with their eyes open. They know what they're paying for. They've factored in the taxes, the maintenance cost, the commute, the restrictions, and they've decided that Central Bucks schools, downtown walkability, and the community are worth the trade-offs. And if that's you, great. But if you're not sure, we should talk. Because here's the reality. There are towns within 10 minutes of Doylestown that give you access to the same school district, similar commute times, and comparable amenities for 20 to 65% less. Chalfont's 18% cheaper. Warrington's 26% cheaper. New Brighton's 65% cheaper, and you're still in Central Bucks. I can show you what else is out there. Towns that solve the specific problems we just talked about without the Doylestown premium. Book a call with me using the link below, and we'll figure out what actually makes sense for your situation. Because the goal really isn't just to buy a house. The goal is to buy the right house in the right town at the right price with your eyes open to what you're actually getting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.